This is you. You're 9 years old. You still believe in magic. Not the fairy tale kind, but the everyday kind. The magic of Saturday morning cartoons. The magic of your mom's laugh when dad tells a bad joke. The magic of thinking tomorrow will always look like today. Then, one ordinary Thursday, the magic dies. You come home from school, backpack bouncing, ready to tell mom about the gold star you got in spelling. But when you walk through the door, something's off. The air feels heavy. Dad is sitting at the kitchen table with his head in his hands. Mom is crying, but trying to hide it. She wipes her face fast when she sees you. Hey, sweetheart, how was school? You know something is wrong. Kids always know. We just don't always have the words for it yet. That night, you hear them talking through the thin walls. Words like layoff and mortgage and I don't know what we're going to do. You don't understand all of it. But you understand enough. The safety net just got pulled out from under your family, and no one knows how to land. Within a month, the changes start piling up like snow in a blizzard. Dad gets a job driving delivery trucks, but it pays half what he used to make. Mom picks up night shifts at the hospital. Suddenly, the house that used to smell like home-cooked dinners smells like microwave meals and exhaustion. And you're not 9 anymore. Not really. You become the unofficial manager of your younger brother. He's 6. He still believes in the magic. You make sure he keeps believing as long as possible. You heat up his dinner. You check his homework. You pretend everything is fine because someone has to, and the adults are too tired to pretend anymore. Why doesn't mom tuck me in anymore? He asks one night. She's just really busy, buddy. But I'm here. I'll always be here. You're 9 years old, reading bedtime stories with the weight of the world pressing down on your tiny shoulders. At school, you start to feel like an alien visiting from another planet. Your classmates are worried about whose birthday party they're going to and whether they'll get the new video game for Christmas. You're worried about whether the electricity will get shut off this month. You hear 2 kids arguing about whose dad has the cooler car. You almost laugh. You want to tell them that cars don't matter. That cool doesn't matter. That the only thing that matters is whether your family is okay when you walk through the door. But you don't say anything. You just smile and nod and pretend you're still one of them. You're not. You haven't been for a while. By the time you're 11, you've got a system down. Wake up at 6, make breakfast for your brother, pack his lunch, walk him to the bus stop, go to school, come home, do homework, make dinner, clean up, put him to bed, wait for mom or dad to get home, fall asleep on the couch because someone should be awake when they walk in. Your teachers start to notice. One of them, Mrs. Patterson, keeps you after class one day. Is everything okay at home? She asks. You've rehearsed this answer 100 times. Everything's fine. I'm just tired. She doesn't push, but she looks at you the way adults look at kids they feel sorry for. You hate that look. You're not broken. You're surviving. There's a difference. The hardest part isn't the responsibility. You can handle responsibility. Kids are tougher than adults give us credit for. No, the hardest part is the loneliness. You can't talk to your friends because they wouldn't understand. You can't talk to your parents because they're drowning in their own problems and the last thing they need is you adding to the pile. You can't talk to anyone because talking means admitting that your childhood got stolen and admitting it makes it real. So you carry it alone. You build walls. You learn to smile on command. You become a master of the phrase, I'm fine, even when you're falling apart inside. Somewhere along the way, you lose yourself. At 13, you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the person staring back. Your eyes are older than they should be. You've got the face of a teenager, but the soul of someone who's lived 100 years. You start getting angry, not the normal teenage kind of angry, a deeper kind, an unfair kind. You're angry that you never got to be a kid. You're angry at your parents even though you know it's not their fault. You're angry at the universe for dealing you this hand. You're angry at yourself for being angry. The anger turns into numbness. It's easier not to feel. If you don't feel, you can't get hurt. If you don't hope, you can't get disappointed. You become a robot, going through the motions, smiling at the appropriate times, saying the appropriate things. Inside, you're hollow. But here's the twist. This isn't where the story ends. One night you're sitting on the back porch watching the stars. Your brother comes out and sits next to you. He's 10 now, and he's starting to understand more than you want him to. Are you sad? He asks. You think about lying. You always lie. But tonight, for some reason, you don't. Yeah, sometimes. He doesn't say anything for a minute. Then he leans his head against your shoulder. Thanks for always being here, he says. I know it's hard. And just like that, something cracks open inside you. All those walls you built, all that numbness you wrapped around yourself like armor, it starts to melt. You cry. For the first time in years, you actually cry. Not the quiet kind you do in the shower so no one hears. Real tears. Ugly tears. The kind that shake your whole body. Your brother just sits there, holding your hand, letting you fall apart. And in that moment, you realize something important. Growing up fast didn't just steal from you. It gave you something too. It gave you strength. It gave you empathy. It gave you the ability to show up for people when everything is falling apart. Yeah, you missed out on a lot. You missed out on being carefree. You missed out on that innocent belief that adults have all the answers. You missed out on years of just being a kid, but you gained something else. You gained resilience. You gained perspective. You gained the knowledge that you can survive hard things because you already have. As you get older, you start to understand that life doesn't give you the childhood you deserve. It gives you the childhood you get. And what you do with that, the person you become despite it, or maybe because of it, that's what matters. You're not broken. You're not damaged goods. You're not less than the kids who got to stay kids longer. You're a survivor, and survivors don't just endure. They grow. The weight on your shoulders, it's still there. Some days it's heavier than others, but you've learned how to carry it without letting it crush you. You've learned that asking for help isn't weakness. You've learned that being strong doesn't mean being alone. And here's the secret nobody tells you about growing up too fast. Someday, when life throws another curveball, and it will, you'll be ready. Not because you're fearless, but because you've already walked through fire. You know what you're made of. You know you can survive. So if you're out there right now, carrying a load that's way too heavy for your age, hear me when I say this. I see you. What you're doing matters. And one day you're going to look back and realize that all this pain was shaping you into someone remarkable. Someone who understands that life isn't fair, but that you can still build something beautiful anyway. That's the real magic, not the fairy tale kind. The kind you create with your own two hands.